For over 100 years, our organization, this organization, has been serving the Jewish community in and around Hackensack with dignity and pride as a center of Jewish life. However, it's been a difficult week here, to be sure, because of hate. Symbols of hate, slogans of hate, and messages of hate so outrageous, it boggles the mind to wonder how on earth did they connect the dots in those kinds of messages to the Jewish people and about the Jewish people. But out of hate has come just the opposite. Out of hate has come many good things. We've received words of encouragement from our neighbors, our members, and nearby synagogues. Offers of assistance from the Federation of Northern New Jersey, with much thanks to Joy Curlin, director of the Jewish Community Relations Council. Vital information and the offer of a reward from the Anti-Defamation League, with thanks to Etzion Neuer, who is the New Jersey Regional Director of the ADL. They've offered a $1,000 reward for any information leading to the capture of the person or persons who did this. There have been a few other offers of financial assistance from unlikely places, friends from near and far, Christian neighbors, business associates, and just total strangers. The goodness of so many have helped to reduce the sting of the senseless, callous, hateful act of vandalism that came to our door, and just before us, to our neighbor's door in Maywood. With events like this, and people like you, maybe, just maybe, things like this will end, because it really isn't that hard to stop. Is it? It really isn't. Thank you.
Just 1 week ago, on the first night of Hanukkah, the exterior of our synagogue was defaced. Now you might say, what are a few words scrawled on the sidewalk in front of the synagogue? We recognize in our tradition that words have tremendous power. Power for good, but power for evil as well. 3 million Polish Jews were killed. 6 million Jews in all throughout Europe. And it was all started by dangerous words, dangerous lies pronounced by an evil man. It reminds us that lies, evil speech, bad words lead to destruction. But you and I are here tonight to declare that it will not be so in our community. It will not be so in our country. The support that this synagogue has gotten from the larger Jewish community, particularly through its organized branch, Federation, and its Jewish Community Relations Council, the support that we've received from you, the general community, are a source of strength for us here at Temple Beth El, saying that we are not powerless and we are not alone, and that you stand here together with us.
I stood at the predecessor of this podium, in the predecessor of this synagogue, when it was the Hackensack Hebrew Institute on State Street, as a 13-year-old, as a bar mitzvah. I'm here because I'm angry. I was upset last week when I spoke in Maywood. I was upset by the symbols and the signs. Am I still upset? Yes. But now this is my town that they've come into, with their 14 words, their 88 words, their symbols. Well, we know more than 14 words. We know more than 88 words. We know the words of our Torah, and we know the words of the Star-Spangled Banner that we sang earlier, and we know the words of our Constitution and our First Amendment and freedom of religion. And so my message today is not so much to you who are here today with us. It's to those who write graffiti on the walls and on the sidewalks. And I'm going to say in words that Hackensack people will understand. We're calling you out. And who is we? We is the Interfaith Coalition and the representatives of the different religious groups who are here today. We are our town, municipal and city officers, mayors, councilmen, our county executive, the representatives of the DPWs who came and helped clean up the places that have been desecrated, the civic organizations, the VFWs, the Rotaries that helped with the cleanup, the organizations that have donated their monies, and the citizens of this town. That's who we are. And we want you to know, when you hide in the darkness and you walk the streets and you see the glow of a Hanukkah, and you see the lights burning from Christmas decorations, and you see the flame of a Kwanzaa candle being lit as they start the Kwanzaa festival, know that those lights are calling you out of the shadows on behalf of all of us, and that in this world, in this country, in this state, in America, there is a place for everyone, but there is no place for you.
My message really is very simple to all of you, and it echoes what you just heard. Bergen County will not tolerate the injustices that were perpetrated here and in Maywood last week. We stand united as one people. If it happens to you, it happens to me, and Bergen County government will not tolerate the injustice and the criminality and the horror that is evoked when people's houses of worship or individually are targeted.
I have a letter to read that we received in the office the other day. Dear Rabbi Schumeister, we are shocked and appalled to find the second incident of hateful anti-Semitism right here in Bergen County, in two towns that we actually represent. It is particularly disturbing at this time of year, and it is in stark contrast to the good work being done in support of interfaith relations. We want you to know that we stand ready to denounce this kind of bias. We join with Rabbi Greenfield, Etzion Neuer, and many others in our commitment to support you and all who have suffered this kind of atrocity. We might not be able to change the hearts and minds of certain people, but we can certainly change the consequences of their actions. Sincerely, Loretta Weinberg, Senator, District 37, and Gordon Johnson, Assemblyman, District 37. Thank you to both of them.
I've been in Hackensack for the past 32 years, and I always pride myself in telling people from other states and other countries that I never felt discriminated against in my city, that I never experienced being looked down by no one, that whites, African Americans, Hispanics, Asian, and others have been able to live without confrontation of any kind. When I was a little kid, 7 or 8 years old, my mom used to tell me all these stories about what happened in the war and who suffered during the war. And one of those nights is the Crystal Night. I don't know if I am pronouncing it correctly, but it means the night of the broken glass. And she used to tell me, and this is why I made the comparison, all these things happen at night against the Jewish people. And so when you see these things happening at night and against the Jewish people, it's impossible not to make the connection and the comparison. Finally, I want to reassure our Jewish brothers and sisters that we are one community, and that anything that happens to you, or for that matter, to any other community in our city, is an attack against all of us, and that we will do anything necessary to protect ourselves against these acts and to prosecute them. We are with you in good and bad. Thank you.
U.S. Senator Robert Menendez issued the following statement in response to repeated and recent anti-Semitic vandalism in New Jersey. It is with great sadness that we once again see anti-Semitic vandalism surface in a New Jersey community. On the first day of Hanukkah, a time of celebration in the Jewish community, an employee at Temple Beth El in Hackensack discovered anti-Semitic graffiti with white supremacist symbolism on its building. This following a similar incident in a neighboring community last week. As we all know from historical lessons, vandalism and expressions of hatred can often escalate into something even more virulent. This occurrence makes us realize, unfortunately once again, that we must all remain vigilant against all acts of intolerance and hatred in our communities. I have been assured by law enforcement that this incident is being taken very seriously. I will continue to monitor the situation and hope that the perpetrators are soon brought to justice.
We stand with Temple Bethel and with the Jewish community to stand against these acts of hatred. We have the good fortune in our communities to be able to stand up against violence, against hatred, hopefully in safety, and to do it in the light of the day, the light of the Hanukkah candles, and the light of the Christmas candles. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, there are 47 documented hate groups active in New Jersey alone. 47 hate groups disseminating their fear, their supremacist propaganda, promoting violence. We as clergy must stand against that. We as citizens stand against it. We as people must stand against it. The Southern Poverty Law Center says there are 10 ways to stop hate. Act, do something. Unite, call a friend or coworker. Support the victims, do your homework, create an alternative. Speak up, lobby leaders, look long range to create a bias response team, teach tolerance, not just tolerance, but accept it, and dig deeper, look into issues that divide. And tonight we are a part of all those. Let us stand together to stop hate, to stop violence. Let us stand together for peace.
I'm here because injustice is in our community. And injustice to anyone is a threat to justice for everyone. I'm here also because I read somewhere about this quote I like. A candle is a protest at midnight. It is nonconformist. It says to the darkness, I beg to differ. That's why I'm here, and I'd like to think that's why all of us are here, because we beg to differ with the perpetrators of this act. I'm here, Mark, because yes, I know what it's like to be hated just because. I had to be here tonight to light a candle.
Good and evil are not values among other values. Good is life, and evil is death. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, death and evil. Choose life.
Hallelujah.
again, we thank you all for coming out on such a very difficult, rainy night. We appreciate and thank you for all your support.